Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stalktober special event of the Heart of the Jakuls. As always, I'm your instructive host Lothran, and we're nearing the end of the sequence. Let's continue to heft away at the heap, one shovelful at a time. So go grab a quick bite to eat, snatch the best spot there is, and get all nice and cozy for Rewritten.
Grandpa! The tall, gangly, rope-thin boy shot up from his pile of books, practically leaping to his grandfather's side. You got me more tomes, right? I love more books.
So eager. If I get you any more books, you'll drown in them.
What a good and pleasant death it would be, Grandpa. The boy tilted back his oblong, stark white head and laughed as loud as he could at his little joke. There was a pleasantness to him, a joy in each moment, and how he loved very simple things.
The archivist looked down at this child and was not sure he could keep things the way they were for much longer. He wanted them to stay the same. He wanted his grandson to have a happy life like any grandparent wanted for their child. But...
Well, do you have a book or not? Ito asked, twiddling his two thick fingers of each hand together, as if one set were the pages of a book and the other hand was constantly flipping them over.
First, we gotta clean this room. Books are pretty much everywhere. If you put it down, you might never find it again. Here, let me help you start.
Oh no, that's an easy solution, Grandpa. Let me get it. Ito stood tall in the center of his room, almost as tall as his grandfather, despite how young the child still was. He gripped his hands together as a single fist, then spread them apart, and facing each hand and finger down to the floor, black rings emerged from the solid stone as if from underneath water.
The archivist stumbled back just out of range of the outermost ring, more terrified than he'd ever been in his entire long life. They were small and slender, each metal-seeming substance, far too close together, and they moved and shifted across one another, expanding and shrinking to the whims of the boy at the center of them. He felt the wall at his back as the rings pulled up from the solid stone waves of fluid to envelop the piles of books, and one row at a time pull them into the solid cold rock beneath. It was worse than he'd ever feared, than anyone that had argued against his choices and actions had ever thought to question. "I thought I told you no rewriting!" He found himself shouting at his grandson.
The boy halted, lowering his hands and sending the rings away when he saw how scared his beloved grandfather had become. I wasn't rewriting, I swear. He walked calmly back over to sit beside his grandfather, looking up with a smile to his face and that single black, leaking eye of his, centered by a golden triangular pupil, the point facing down. I didn't mean to scare you, Grandpa. I was just putting the books away, I swear.
You wouldn't do that to a person, would you?
The boy laughed, his smile ripping across both sides of his face. Silly old man, you can't put a living being in storage.
I thought you couldn't do storage. That your calling was rewriting, he asked, beginning to calm down. He heard his son's footsteps coming down the hall.
Oh, I did rewrite once. Papa got mad. But it was logic that led me to it. Logic is the best thing there is. Both you and Papa taught me that. Yeah. So I rewrote the part of myself that could rewrite, turning it to a part that could now only do storage. I was asleep for an entire week. Papa was mad. Are you mad about that? I know I promised Papa and you not to rewrite, but in order to make sure I could never rewrite again for any reason, I had to rewrite the one time. The one time, yeah.
What's going on here?
Papa, I was just telling Grandpa all about how I fixed everything. I'm the best. Everything's better now.
His father tilted his head around the room, noting only a single row or two out of dozens of rows of books that had once occupied the space. He addressed his child directly. "I'm glad you cleaned your room, Ito."
I'm a good boy.
You should have let me explain things to your grandfather first. You know how old and worried he gets.
'Cause he's real old, I know. I'm sorry, Papa. I was just trying to help. I like helping people. It makes me feel good. Ito pointed to his chest with one of his thumbs. His father bent and hugged Ito with great care and immense joy, letting the lad slip free and fidget while he awaited the next time a grown-up sought to speak with him.
I should really come to see you first before I slip in to see little Ito here. His grandfather spoke to his papa. It might be a good idea in the future. Ito, are you ready to eat? Food is all set.
Oh, yes. But first I gotta finish explaining things to Grandpa. Like, did you know? I found it in one of the books, and you said they were incomprehensible or something? I don't remember. It's something or other. The Vu diamonds aren't really diamonds. They're actually octahedrons. And really, only what we see are the octahedrons. 'Cause the Vu, they have technology and stuff, but they're able to manipulate matter on multiple dimensions, and when you look at an octahedron, all you're really looking at is part of it that what we can see. Wait, no, where did you go? No, come back, I gotta explain this.
And so it is. Our time together has once more come to a close. As always, I've been your revealing host, Lothran, and this was Rewritten, another tale right from the heart of the Jakuls. Unfortunately, you and I must now part our ways, but remember that it is not permanent. Korvoth, lead them back the way they came.
A fond welcome and a pleasant good night to each and all. Please leave your comments, questions, and kindnesses down below. Excuse me. None of that awful, rude, or mean stuff, though. You keep that to yourself. Remember to subscribe, like, and share to help us learn and spread and grow. And we strongly encourage each and every one of you to do everything in your power to stay safe out there. Goodbye and good night. Good luck, everyone. You'll need it. Bye-bye.